Well, SmackDown moves back to 2 hours, and the more things change, the more they stay the same. With that, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, SmackDown edition from July the 3rd. And as I mentioned at the offset, Cody Rhodes just can't seem to stay away from that title picture now, can he? But I don't know, Sean. What did you think of the show, and where we're headed for Monday's episode of Raw?
So overall, I think it was one of the more tolerable episodes of SmackDown. WWE surprisingly did a better job this week of keeping most of the results hidden. The whole episode didn't leak like last week, which was embarrassing, and from what I understand, they were furious about that happening. But for the love of God, can we get a storyline with the title that doesn't involve Cody for a little while? Like, we're big Cody fans on this channel, and I just I'm starting to get to the point with Cody where I was with Sami for a little while, and Sami, if we look at it in that aspect, Sami Zayn has worked his way back into being one of my more entertaining wrestlers and superstars at the moment, and I'm just getting kind of sick of Cody Rhodes.
Yes, let's talk about the segment and then kind of where we go from here. So the show opened up obviously with Sami Zayn acting like a little defiant, kind of that he had won the title and made mention that like, look, this is mine. I did it despite people and despite everybody telling me no, and the usual kind of this was never supposed to happen to me kind of promo, and it was fine, right? He was then interrupted by Cody Rhodes and then eventually Jey Uso, who both, came out to thank him. And it ultimately led to a match between Cody and Jey to be the number one contender, but not at SummerSlam on this coming Monday Night Raw. And obviously Cody won because of course Cody won. And the match wasn't really anything to talk about. The match was kind of a relatively nothing match. Cody beat him with relative ease.
Clean.
Yeah, clean. And I don't know. I don't have a ton to say about all of this. I am more curious, I guess, what they're going to do with all of this because, as you know, I'm sure everyone is aware at this point, Monday's episode of Raw is emanating from one Chicago, Illinois, where I would imagine we'll see the return of a Phil Brooks CM Punk. And I don't really know. I don't really know what direction we are going to take this. I want for Cody to attempt to do something cheap to beat Sami and for Punk to be like, bro, you're better than this. And then for Cody to clock Punk with the title and then for Sami to retain.
Yep.
And then for Cody and Punk to have to start their feud towards their SummerSlam match. What I think is going to happen is Cody is going to win and then Punk is going to come out and challenge him.
So before I get into my opinion of what I think should and will happen, I think the most noteworthy thing for me for the number one contenders match is obviously it was set up by Adam Pearce filling in for Nick Aldis, which we could talk about that shortly because I have opinions on that. But I think the most noteworthy thing is what didn't happen during the match. There was zero interference of any kind. Where was
Mm-hmm.
Solo? Where was any of this? Where was the bloodline shenanigans that you've been telling for a while? Like why did Cody need to win clean? Like this was the perfect spot for Cody to not win clean, and he does. And as much as I hate to give Jey Uso credit and WWE credit, I do like the fact that they didn't run it back during the opening segment when Jey came out like he normally does, and that he
Oh, thank
actually
God.
that he actually gave Sami his a little bit of respect there. So I give them credit for that because normally that shit pisses me off, but I like that they showed Sami a little bit of respect. And obviously Sami could have been petty and told everyone to kiss his ass, but he didn't. So, but overall, I'm very worried that Monday is going to go exactly the way you said, and that Sami is going to be a week and a half champion. And I hate that for him. The guy has busted his ass for years. He does such good character work that he can make you hate him. He can make you love him as the underdog, even though it can get old because that's the go-to story with him. But
Mhm.
I think he deserves more than such a short title reign. And if anything, like you said, have Cody about to do something cheap and have Punk come out and stop him and have Sami take advantage. Or even if it requires us getting a heel Pepsi Phil, I would take that too. I would take him coming out and attacking Cody. Just if it let us keep the belt on Sami for a little while longer.
Yeah, I do think that a heel a heel Pepsi fill is incredibly, incredibly unlikely.
I know,
I I do not think that like to me that would just be turning him heel for the sake of turning him heel. And like there's been zero indication that they would turn him heel. Like he's done nothing heely at all. That's not a word, but like he's done nothing to demonstrate, whereas Cody seemingly is getting more and more and more and more desperate. And like it's one thing with smaller characters that like nobody kind of gives a crap about. No offense, Lyra Valkyria, but like she had a one episode heel turn. Like she was distraught, and then at the end of the episode, she turned heel. But previously, before that, she was completely fine, and they kind of played it off as she just lost a bunch and she was pissed off. But like with characters they actually care about, again, no offense, Lyra, because like I like you a lot, Lyra, but WWE doesn't seem to give a shit about you. Um, they don't just turn them heel on a dime.
but does WWE and Triple H have the balls to turn Cody heel? That's the problem I have. I don't like the idea of a face versus face match for this. I feel like Cody versus Punk needs to have one of them as a heel, one as a face.
Um, yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
I think it tells a
I,
better story by having an actual defined heel and a defined face. And I don't trust Triple H right now to pull the trigger on that. I mean, Cody Rhodes has shown in the past that he can play a heel character. And if anything, right now, with how much Rhodes fatigue is starting to show, I think that that could be something that revitalizes it. And you know what? If he were to win the title back in a couple months as a heel Cody, I'd be okay with that because it gives us a different story rather than, oh, I'm easy to find but tough to beat. Like, it's just, I don't know.
I mean, WWE certainly pretends that they don't listen to the internet audience a little bit, but the internet audience is the audience that's getting tired of Cody. Like I personally am fine with it one way or another. I mean, I think I'm getting a little bit of fatigue myself, but at the same time, you keep the title on your biggest stars. I mean, that's why like if him and Punk were to have the match and it were to be for the title, Punk needs to win.
It just makes for boring storytelling to keep it on the same person. Look at by the end of the Bloodline series, why we were so invested in Cody winning. Because everyone was tired of Roman at that point. I mean, after 4 years of every match ending the same way, it gets to a point where people just get sick of seeing the same thing.
It wasn't just that though, because Cody's story was just as interesting as Roman losing as well, right? Like Dusty's kid who never won, and the whole finish the story thing, that was just as big a deal as Roman's
Yeah,
title reign, you know? So like I don't know about that, but like I think the problem is you have very few stars that you've built up enough for it to be interesting for them to go up and win, right? Like I just said, I think if Punk and Cody end up facing off for the title on probably night two of WrestleMania or of SummerSlam, because I think at this point I don't know, Roman and Rollins might be night two. I don't know. That's a hard one to call. Like
yeah.
if it ends up being Punk and Cody or Roman and Seth, I could see either one headlining either show, you
Both
know?
are good enough.
Yeah, I mean, or you also have Oba and Brock as well, right? But that'll probably open.
Knowing Brock, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I would pick Punk to win. Punk, I think Punk should win. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, WWE does have a lot of potential outs for that. Because, I mean, theoretically, that's, I guess, where you could have Punk go heel too if you wanted to heel Punk. If he wanted to play a heel for a little while. Because we all know that CM Punk can play a fantastic bad guy. You could have him do something during the match to cheat and win. But
I don't think that he
as
would
of
though.
right now, as of right now,
Yeah,
though, I have a second part to this. Hold on. As of right now, though, that doesn't feel like there's been enough done to build towards that for it
yeah,
to for them to fully like stick the landing on that. Like, I mean, it would work, but it wouldn't feel quite right. You know what I mean?
yeah. It feel forced, and I don't. He's done nothing to indicate that a heel turn is even in the cards. Cody's done plenty to indicate a heel turn could happen.
Yeah, yeah. If I mean, a Cody heel turn, like I said, makes the most sense. I just don't. I hate to say that I don't trust WWE, but I don't trust WWE.
And like I know it's very cliche, but I want Cody to turn into the Homelander,
Yes,
Cody Rhodes heel. Like everything I've given, and I'm the best and all this stuff. I want them to be delicate with it though, and I do not want him to become a you people,
yeah,
a you people heel. But like at the same time, I do want him to become kind of the like,
I'm
you
better than
know,
you,
I'm better than you
and I know
heel.
it.
Like, yeah, and I know it. I want him to become like kind of like Gunther,
And give him a faction. Give him something behind him too.
Ricky Saints,
Ricky Saints, Will Hobbs, or sorry, Royce Keys. Like,
Ethan Page if you're not going to do something with him.
right, give him like honestly, you know a type of faction, not like the exact kind, but something similar that could work. Do you remember Bradshaw when he had the cabinet? When it was JBL, and then he had like the three or four people around him that were like his advisors, but they were his faction. Give him something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah. I could see that, and I could get behind that, and I think that I would be okay with him having the title again at that point, right? But I just I don't know. I think they need to keep it away from him for a while. But then say they do that, right? Like say they go best case scenario, right? Which we just said would be Cody attempting to cheat, Punk costing him, and then we get the match that way, sans the title. Two questions there. One, what do you do with Sami? And two, Cody and Punk should probably, unless you decided to go the Brock Oba route because of how much you've been building that, Cody and Punk should be the main event of one of the nights, even if it's not for the title. And
Yeah,
then if that's the case, Sami being the champion and not getting a headline match is kind of shitty and kind of diminishing Sami as a champion. It's just kind of being like, you've got these two stars on this show who are bigger than the guy holding the title.
you play that into the story though. You add that into Sammy's whole. So I'm the champion, and you're not going to give me the main event, and you add that right into the story. I mean, if ever there was a perfect person and a perfect storyline for it, Sammy's already aggrieved by all of this. It's another thing
True.
for him to be pissed off about. And I
True.
mean, you could have. I'm sure you can come up with somebody to go up against him. I mean, it's going to hinge on what they decide to do with some of these other people. Like if it ends up being the Usos versus Solo and that, or if they hold off on that, you could have Jey versus Sami because they're still trying to tell that story too. I guess part of that is going to hinge on where we go with some of these other stories.
I'm pretty convinced it's going to be Solo and Southern California Night versus the Usos.
Or
That makes
you
too much sense.
or you have someone like, get say Roman says, "Oh, Jay couldn't get it done," and sends Jacob over to try and take it from Sammy, and Sammy cheats to wins there.
Yeah.
Like, there's a perfect storyline for you. Jay failed.
Actually, Sammy versus Jacob could be fun.
Yeah. I mean, they had a little bit of a thing going for a little while there, and you have Solo and LA Knight cost. So do you have that night one at some point during night one? Night two, you have SoCal Knight and Solo versus the Usos, but night one, Knight and Solo cost Jacob during the match.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
It makes sense, and it allows you to keep tying. I mean, even and especially with Sammy making the comment of, in my opinion, that it is still the title still is in the family. You know what I mean? And then you can
Yeah.
start some sort of program between a cross promotional thing of Sammy being like, Roman, I was part of the bloodline. Am I not good enough? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I hate to say it, as much as I want Seth to win at SummerSlam, I don't think Seth is winning at SummerSlam.
No, I don't. I don't anymore either. Um, you do also have presumably a Drew McIntyre returning as well
Right.
at some point. You could very easily throw into that.
And
He's got history with Sammy. He's got history with Jacob. Like you could very easily throw him into some kind of mix as well either. And Drew makes a fantastic opponent, a fantastic believable opponent to go up for a title shot.
and you have it as a face Drew instead of a heel Drew against a heel Sammy. I mean, it's a complete flip of the script from what we were seeing before when it was heel Drew and face Sammy.
What about this scenario that I just thought of in my head? What if they decide to not go the Punk Cody route at SummerSlam?
Okay, and what do they do?
And instead of because here's a much easier way to get to, frankly, in my opinion, a better match, because I think Cody and Punk maybe should be saved for WrestleMania. What if Randy returns and costs Cody?
I can get behind that. I mean, nobody knows where Randy's been. Has he been hurt?
I don't know.
Like, they've done a real good job of keeping it under wraps, whether or not he's just been on vacation or if he's been hurt. But I mean, yeah, I would 100% be behind that. And then we get Sammy or we get Cody versus Randy at two at SummerSlam with no title on the line.
What if you get Sammy versus Punk?
I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with Sammy losing at that point because he's had the belt for a month and a half. It's not just an immediate 1 week and then drop it. I have a huge problem with titles changing hands for no reason. And I feel like such a short amount of time is a no reason to title change.
Well, and this is why I'm thinking that Cody's not going to win the title back because it seems kind of stupid, right? Like,
Yeah.
why would you have bothered to, other than like for, because granted, I know WWE is a moment company, right? But like, why would you have bothered to take the title off of him to begin with if your plan all along was to get him versus, because if the plan ends up being Cody versus Punk and the title is involved, why bother of taking the title off of Cody to begin with?
It was for the feel good moment of Sammy in Saudi Arabia, which is stupid because it could have just been done next year at Mania,
Yeah.
which is where I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah. So I don't know, but you were going to say something about Adam Pearce earlier, and I
Yes,
think
so
you give me a chance to.
obviously we Adam Pearce is running both SmackDown and Raw again on a interim basis because Gunter and Aldis were both sent home for their interactions with each other post match at Night of Champions. And part of me, I do want to see Aldis get a shot, even if it's just for one match in a WWE ring, since he never really had that opportunity. But it's such dumb reasoning behind it. Like, there's video proof that Gunter put his hands on Aldis first. And I hate how stupid WWE treats their fans sometimes. And it frustrates me to no end. Like all this shit with like when the security guards are here to stop everything, and it's like, no, they're just gonna get their ass beat. Like, we're not stupid, WWE. Just build up, give us our match that we know is coming, and stop treating us like morons. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox for a moment there.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I do have a feeling that we're going to get Gunter versus Nick Aldis at SummerSlam, and I think Gunter is probably going to win.
I have a feeling it's going to be similar to how McAfee earned
Yeah,
Gunter's respect, and it's going
yeah,
to be a similar situation. Because
yeah,
Aldis is a pretty damn good wrestler.
yeah. So we had a couple of other things occur on the SmackDown this week. We had Jade Cargill and the Baddies defeat Charlotte, Chelsea, and Tiffany by a pinfall after Jade hit the Jaded on Chelsea Green. This really was just to kind of continue to further the story between Jade and Charlotte for their inevitable clash at SummerSlam. And this was fine. I mean, it got pretty much all of your SmackDown women on the show. And I'm perfectly fine with this. Like, this was what it was. It continues to tell me the story that Charlotte is going to beat Jade at SummerSlam. That seems super, super likely to me. And I have a feeling Charlotte is very likely going to be the next champion. And they are kind of teasing the Alexa
Yep.
getting pissed off, jealous kind of thing as well, a little bit. So something tells me either Alexa could cost Charlotte, or Alexa and Charlotte could be the some kind of contenders to go for the title, and then that's when Alexa turns.
I was gonna say, what if Alexa costs her the match against Jade? Because they did definitely shove that in there that she was all pissed off about the fact that Charlotte didn't give her a heads up.
Yeah. Yeah, they might be going in that direction.
Like, not even trying to help Jade, but just because she's like, you know what, you're a bitch, and cost her the match. But
Yeah.
as far as the actual match, the six women tag match, how about Chelsea Green almost killing herself? Cracking her head off the ground. I'm honestly, part of me is surprised they continued the match because when she stood up, it looked like she was woozy as hell.
Yeah, she
And
looked a little awkward.
I mean, she recovered relatively quick, but that was a pretty bad looking spot. And what else can I say about Jade besides the fact that once again she almost botched her own finishing move? So I just
Oh, Jade. Good old Jade.
Jade and the Jade Brigade. I
She's
mean,
never gonna change at this point, and they're never gonna send her to the PC to like get those
just to
skills that she needs
clean
to
up.
be system better. So honestly,
Like,
like, at this point, I kind of feel bad for her. Like, she needs she needs some Shawn Michaels in her life a little bit,
yeah,
and I don't think that they're doing her any service at this point by not allowing, and it's too late now at this point. So I don't think they did her a good service, not putting her into the PC for a little while.
it's still my opinion that was the biggest mistake they made with her. And I mean, even with like Balake Monroe, they at least took the time with her to send her to NXT for like 2 months. And you could tell, like, with people who aren't 100% polished coming over to WWE from the clown show that is WCW and the fact that they throw any independent talent they have into the ring, regardless of whether they're going to kill somebody or not. Darby Allin, I'm looking at you. But I just, it just, it's not that hard to give them. I mean, we didn't see Jade for what, like 8 months before they first started announcing her? What the hell were they doing with her for that time? Like, that was the perfect time frame to have her getting polished up and just ready to go for the actual main roster and the big leagues that are WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of Mariah May, um, no, they had a backstage segment with Blake and Julia and Kiana James, and I guess that's going to be the first feud there, where Blake is just going to beat them both, or beat Kiana, or I don't know.
I
I
did
just
get a
continue to
kick.
feel bad. I just continue to feel bad for Julia, who is just, you know, at this point, she should go to WCW, and I've been saying it for a while because she's just being completely wasted in WWE.
She'll be fine because she's gonna end up over on Raw. But she, which will be just what she needs is the scenery change. I'm not gonna lie though, I did get a kick out of the fact that after Blake took her out when Kiana was running her mouth, she came back and took Kiana out too. That was pretty entertaining. But I don't know. I'm just honestly, I would like to see it end up in some sort of three-way match, and Blake wins via pinning Kiana rather than Julia. And I think I would be okay with that.
I like the idea of putting the US title on Blake.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I
I
think
mean,
Blake versus I love Blake versus Tiffany.
you could do a three. That could be your feud for right now. Is you have Blake versus Julia versus Kiana, and it ends with a number one contenders match among the three that Blake wins and then takes the title off Tiffany.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think I'm ready for Blake to be the world champion yet,
No,
but I think I'm ready for her to be the mid card champion.
I think a mid card spot would be the perfect spot for her right now, especially with the fact that there's actual people to go up against in that division, unlike when Julia had the belt.
Yeah. Yeah. We also had Laney Reed defeat Brie Bella via pinfall with the running knee after a bunch of nonsense with Fatal Influence and Paige here. Um,
Don't mock my girl.
I think I'm starting to think that Fatal Influence is going to be the ones to take the titles off of them at SummerSlam.
Yep, I 100% agree. I'm not gonna lie, considering the fact that you almost never see Laney Reed actually wrestle, the fact that she got the win over Brie kind of surprised me. I mean, I figured
Mhm.
Brie mode would go over easy. But I guess you had to go with the official WWE mandate of 50-50 booking after Page won in England. So
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I would 100% agree with you. I think that you're going to see Fatal Influence be the ones to take the belts off of I don't even know what we call Page in Brie mode, but
Age mode.
Page mode, yeah. But
I mean, no, it's the right, it's time at this
yeah,
point. They've had it since WrestleMania. 4 months is plenty of time, and we need to. Brie Bella needs to go back to retirement, and Paige needs to go into singles wrestling, and um, Fatal Influence needs to start getting taken a little bit more seriously.
yes.
And I think if they have the tag titles, I think that does just that.
And it lets them travel between shows by having the tag titles. I mean, right now they can travel between shows anyway with Pierce in charge, but I think that you're right. It gives them a little bit more chutzpah, I think. And
Chutzpah.
but I think that as much as it physically pains me to say this, I think Brie looked the best she has in any match during that match on SmackDown. Like I feel like I was just stabbed there saying that, but yeah, I think it's time. And then I mean I don't know how much you're gonna have Paige actually do a whole lot of single stuff. I mean this might have just been a feel good kind of return for her, but I would at least like to see her get maybe a feud in depending on who's champ.
I want one thing from Paige before she calls it a career, and that is one more match with AJ Lee.
I'm cool with that. Supposedly we're gonna be seeing AJ Lee again at some point soon, so I'm wondering if
Yeah,
we'll see her Monday.
I would like that. One more match with AJ Lee.
Have it be
Perfectly okay.
have it be like a retirement match for both of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I can get behind that.
We had Tala and Tamatonga attack Finn Balor backstage after Finn was like telling Cody, "Go get it, Cody. I came here to challenge you," which was interesting. It kind of positions Finn sort of into the main event again, but also gives Tamatonga something to do, which is good. I think Finn, assuming they have matches or at least a match, I would assume Finn probably wins that as he should because he
Yeah,
kind of is in need of a character repackaging a little bit. So yeah, perfectly okay with that. And then we also, which I'll let you talk about because you had kind of a wild theory on this one. we had Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams in the ring ahead of their U.S. title match. But go ahead and tell the internet your theory and tell us about the segment.
Oh, so you didn't like? So you see, what do you not like my thoughts? I think that so obviously you had little Yakty coming out looking like Malcolm X, and Prince Trick Williams coming out to the ring, and obviously it was just some more running their mouth like they have been, but they were interrupted by him, which I've never quite understood. Does him stand for something, or is it just because he thinks he's that special? Carmelo Hayes. But he comes out to the ring, tells Trick that obviously they still have history, and since Ricky Saints couldn't get the job done, he was here to finish said job. And little Yakty, of course, let him go on and on, talked about how they didn't just hand out title shots. They had to be earned. It wasn't like some of our previous times where they just hand out title shots. But I think that based off what we're seeing here and kind of the way that little Yachty is, I have to actually say it correctly, it seems to be speaking for like Trick completely now. I have a feeling that you're going to see him turn on Trick. I don't know if he's going to ally with like Carmelo, which I think would be great, but I think that Trick is going to drop the title at SummerSlam, and it's going to be because Little Yachty costs him the match, be it against Ricky Starks or Carmelo Hayes. I think he aligns with one of them and costs him the match.
Two things. One, Ricky Saints, not Ricky Starks.
Did I say
And
Starks?
B, I'm pretty sure he is me,
Okay.
right? Isn't that right? I think that's right.
Let us know. Let us know, our
Yeah, let us
viewers.
know in the comments down below. I'm not about to just like, you know, have bad podcast time here while I look something up on Google because that's just gross.
I
So not that
I
we've
didn't
ever
realize I
done
called him Starks.
that. That WCW is just living inside your brain there. And then lastly, and perhaps the best thing on the show by a country mile, was the match for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship between Rey Fenix and El Hijo del Vikingo. This match was ridiculous. Absolutely friggin' ridiculous. I mean, what a way to I mean Rey Fenix is basically a AAA star at this point, but like what a way to just show off this brand and have two of some of the best lucha style wrestlers in the world go at it and just have a barn burner of a match, which saw Rey Fenix win by landing the Mexican Muscle Buster to retain the title.
God, I hate
Absolutely
that
outstanding.
name. I hate that move name. Just call it the Muscle Buster. Samoa Joe isn't around anymore. But you're right. Like, you know, I'm okay with Ray at the moment being a AAA star if they continue to do this every SmackDown. Because if we're not going to get the U.S. Open Challenge anymore, if we're going to get Rey Fenix defending the title against people like Nathan Frazier and Vikingo and these bangers of matches, sign me up for that every week. Much like the U.S. Open Challenge, where every single match was a 5-star match, so far both of these AAA cruiserweight matches have been 5-star matches. And
Mhm.
what better way to just showcase that title too? I mean, it lets you bring in your own homegrown stars like Nathan Frazier, or it lets you bring in the AAA stars to compete as well. And I mean, you want to get more eyes on that product. Like, I didn't realize that they were every Saturday on the YouTube channel. I thought they were like once a month. So I might need to actually start watching that more frequently because I enjoy the lucha style.
Really good
And
wrestling. It's really
I
been
mean,
very, very
these
fun.
guys were just flying around the ring. And you want to talk about some death defying looking moves. Like that top rope poison rana that Vikingo did. Like, my God, it just, yeah, speechless with how
Yeah.
some of the
Yeah, no,
things
they
they did.
were. I know this was a recorded episode of SmackDown, but that was a treat for those in attendance. So
Yeah.
with that, that was the Independence Eve episode of Friday Night SmackDown. So with that, what was your final rating for the show?
So my final rating is going to be based off of the one segment we didn't talk about, which was Danhausen backstage, and
Ah, yes.
the fact that I think this is going to result in Kit Wilson and The Miz having their brains switched, which I think is going to be absolutely hysterical. So I give it a 4 out of 5 as far as SmackDowns go. As far as regular wrestling goes, I give it a 3 out of 5.
I am glad that SmackDown is back to 2 hours, and I am now hoping that this is kind of the shot in the arm that it needs a little bit to be a better show. They have the potential here with CM Punk coming back and hopefully coming to SmackDown because I don't think him and Roman should be on the same show.
No.
Um, and they have the potential with that, with Blake Monroe, with what's going on surrounding the U.S. title, this continued focus on the AAA wrestling as well, to do some really good stuff and to hopefully right the ship with SmackDown a little bit. So I think with that, they still have some of the goofy things that they need to clean up. The Danhausen stuff is pretty hysterical. I haven't gotten quite sick of it yet. And I get it. It was a pre-taped 4th of July show. So like, I'm not going to, give it a ton of crap like I think I normally would. So it definitely gets a little bit more rope with me this week. So I think with that, my final rating for the show is a Ron Killings eating hot dogs
Yes.
out of 5.
I was just gonna say, I hope to God you mentioned the fact that they were swinging their wieners around him and the Viking experience.
So that is our show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, please smash that subscribe button as we make our way to 10K. Thank you guys so much, as always, for the support and look forward to some more of our content coming out this week. We're going to have another Bills episode for you guys, as well as some more gaming stuff. And we are going to be doing some live streams for SummerSlam as well. So look forward to that. And with that, I have been Mike, joined by Mr. Ride or Die. Have yourselves a fantastic evening and take care.